Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we unpack the unspoken challenges and maybe surprising wins in your professional world. Today, we're diving into a feeling. Well, a feeling many of you might recognize, but maybe don't talk about openly. Isolation. That really profound sense of being on your own, running your business, facing all the daily hurdles, and maybe whispering, am I the only one going through this? If you've ever felt that whisper that tell me I'm not alone, then yeah, this deep dive is definitely for you.
It really is such a universal experience for entrepreneurs. Our sources, they span countless Reddit threads, local online communities, even private chats with business owners. And they all echo the same thing. Running a business can be incredibly lonely. You're the one in charge, right? So you're carrying the weight of stress, the responsibility. You want to talk about the challenges, but you often feel you can't really vent to your staff.
Right.
You're their leader.
Right.
And sometimes your family, even if they're supportive, they might not fully grasp the unique pressures you're under.
Yeah, the specific.
Exactly. So this often leaves you feeling kind of stuck inside your own head, burdened by all these silent worries with, no obvious outlet.
Exactly. And that's really where this concept of a support circle comes in. It's not just, a nice idea or some feel-good concept. Our sources make it really clear that it's actually a vital strategic tool for thriving, not just surviving. So our mission today is to unpack precisely why these circles matter, how they work, and maybe most importantly, how you can actually start building your own. Transforming that feeling of being alone into a powerful network, shared strength, shared understanding. When we think about high performers, say in other fields like elite athletes or accomplished musicians, they rarely operate in total isolation, do they?
No, not at all.
Athletes have coaches, teammates, physios, mentors, a whole ecosystem designed to push them. Musicians have bands, producers, collaborators, often a really close-knit community of other artists. But for us business owners, it often feels like we're on this constant solo flight. We're the pilot, the co-pilot, the flight attendant, and the mechanic, all rolled into one, trying to navigate these turbulent skies completely alone.
And what's really fascinating there, and something our sources just highlight again and again, is that this solo flight approach, it directly contributes to some of the really debilitating parts of entrepreneurship.
What specifically?
Well, chronic burnout, for one, deep self-doubt, and often actually critical decision-making errors. Because without those diverse perspectives, without a sounding board, you're just more prone to confirmation bias, right?
Right, sticking with what you know.
Yeah, sticking to a path that might not be the best one simply because you don't have that external input. The sources really emphasize this crucial truth. You truly don't have to do it alone. And in fact, for sustained success, for your own well-being, you shouldn't. That feeling of constantly flying solo, it directly hits your mental resilience, the clarity of your strategic thinking, a support circle.
Yeah.
Look, it isn't about having loads of business partners. It can simply be, say, 2 or 3 people who genuinely get your world.
Okay.
Individuals who understand the unique landscape of entrepreneurship, with all its ups and downs.
So these are people who truly understand those late nights wrestling with spreadsheets.
Yeah.
The stress of unpaid invoices, that sort of existential dread when a major client leaves.
Oh, absolutely.
Or even just that subtle fear of hiring the wrong person and the ripple effect. They've been there. They know the battles because they fought them too.
Precisely. They are the ones who have navigated really similar waters. And they can offer not just, generic advice, but real understanding, empathy, because they resonate deeply with your struggles. Our research really points at this shared understanding as where the true, often underestimated value lies. It's not really about getting a quick fix for a problem. It's more about the psychological validation, that feeling of being seen and understood.
Right. That must make a huge difference.
It does. When you realize someone else has walked that exact path, the emotional burden of your challenges, it just significantly lightens. And this validation is so crucial for mental well-being when the stakes feel so high. It lets you approach problems with maybe renewed energy and clarity instead of feeling just overwhelmed by the isolation.
Yeah.
It helps you kind of depersonalize the struggle. You see it as a common entrepreneurial hurdle, not some personal failing.
Okay, right. Let's unpack this then. Our sources lay out some really practical, actionable ways to start building this crucial network, breaking free from that solo flight mentality. So where do we start? If someone's listening now and thinking, okay, I need this, what's step one?
Well, the first step is often the simplest one, but it's incredibly powerful, and that's to join local business communities.
Okay, like what kind of groups?
Things like your city's Chamber of Commerce, maybe specialized industry associations, or even informal online groups like on Facebook or LinkedIn. They're excellent starting points. But crucially, it's not just about passively joining. Our sources really highlight that the real magic happens when you move beyond just observing.
Right, you have to engage.
Yeah, actively showing up, listening, engaging, even in small ways. That helps you quickly realize that, wow, many others are experiencing the exact same struggles you are. And that initial exposure, it's really powerful for combating that feeling of isolation. It immediately shows you your challenges aren't unique. And actually, a surprising insight from our data is how often entrepreneurs find their biggest breakthroughs, not in, say, formal networking events designed for sales.
Right, not just swapping business cards.
Exactly. But in these more organic communities where people are genuinely looking for mutual support, sharing experiences. So look for communities maybe with a clear focus on problem solving or shared learning rather than just sales pitches.
I can totally see how just realizing you're not alone could be a huge relief. Like you said, knowing others face the same struggles makes it feel, well, less personal, more universal. Okay, what's next on our practical list?
Next up, consider finding a mentor.
Okay, mentorship. That sounds a bit formal, maybe intimidating.
It doesn't have to be. Mentorship doesn't need a rigid structure. It could be, say, a retired business owner who's seen it all and wants to give back.
Right.
Or maybe a seasoned professor with deep industry experience who gets both the theory and the practice.
Okay.
Or even just a successful entrepreneur who's simply willing to share their journey, their lessons learned. Our sources consistently highlight mentors as shortcut makers.
Shortcut makers, I like that.
Yeah. It's important because they've already paid the tuition fees of failure.
Right. Been there, done that, got the expensive t-shirt.
Exactly. They've navigated the common pitfalls, the costly mistakes. So their stories, their insights, can literally help you save precious time, money, and, honestly, emotional energy by avoiding missteps they've already figured out. And a key takeaway from our research on what makes mentorship effective. It's that the most impactful mentors aren't always the highest profile people.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, often they're people who have deep experience in a specific niche challenge that you're facing right now.
Targeted help.
Precisely. So approaching a potential mentor with a focused question, or maybe a defined problem they can help with, rather than just a broad, can you give me advice? That dramatically increases the chance of a successful, ongoing relationship that benefits both people.
That makes sense. Targeted wisdom, not just general guidance.
Exactly.
That's a massive benefit, isn't it? Learning from someone else's mistakes without having to make them yourself is like, yeah, having a guide through a maze, showing you the dead ends. The psychological boost from that alone must be huge.
It really is.
Okay, what's another powerful approach for building this circle?
Another incredibly powerful method, one our sources strongly advocate for, is forming peer-to-peer circles.
Peer-to-peer. So connecting with people at a similar level.
Yeah. Imagine gathering, say, 4 or 5 fellow entrepreneurs, maybe once a month, perhaps over coffee or a casual meal, with just a simple shared purpose. The key here is creating an atmosphere of genuine honesty, psychological safety, and crucially, no formal agenda.
No agenda, just talk.
Pretty much. Just sharing wins, struggles, brainstorming solutions together. And our research suggests the ideal mix often involves people from different industries, but maybe at similar growth stages.
Oh, why? Different industries?
Well, that diversity often prevents competitive dynamics, while still ensuring everyone understands the shared challenges of, say, scaling a business or just managing operations.
Gotcha. Fresh perspectives, but common ground.
Exactly. You'll likely leave these meetings feeling both lighter because you've offloaded some worries, some vulnerabilities, and also significantly smarter. You gain fresh insights, alternative perspectives on similar challenges from your peers. This collective wisdom, unfiltered by staff concerns or maybe family anxieties, it's just invaluable for strategic thinking and emotional processing.
It sounds like having a personal, informal advisory board that actually cares.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
That communal sharing sounds incredibly effective, both for problem solving and just the emotional side. Like you said, a mini board meeting, but without the pressure. Genuine connection. Okay, and finally, for maybe a more direct day-to-day kind of support, what do the sources suggest there?
Right. For more direct, consistent boost, maybe for motivation and focus, you can find an accountability partner.
Accountability partner, okay.
This is usually someone, again, at a similar stage in their business journey, perhaps facing comparable growth challenges or striving for similar goals.
So you keep each other on track.
Basically, yeah. The premise is simple. You check in with each other, maybe weekly. You discuss your progress, your current plans, the obstacles you're hitting. Our sources highlight that the real power of an accountability partner lies in that gentle but consistent push they provide.
Gentle push, yeah, not nagging.
Exactly. It's not about harsh judgment. It's about shared commitment.
Yeah.
There's a great example from our research that illustrates this perfectly. Just a simple, hey, how are you doing with your plan this week?
Right, that little prompt.
That simple question can be incredibly motivating. This external commitment, just knowing someone else is kind of tracking your progress, it helps you stay on track when things get tough, when motivation wanes or when you're tempted to just put things off.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Absolutely. It adds this layer of responsibility beyond just your own internal drive, and that often leads to significantly better follow-through on your goals.
Okay, this is where, for me, it gets really interesting and quite profound, actually. Our sources share this powerful personal insight that just resonated deeply with me. Business owners who felt utterly alone, totally convinced no one could possibly relate to their specific struggles.
Yeah.
They often experience this profound, almost immediate shift when they finally join a supportive group or find a mentor. Like, the problems don't magically disappear, no, but the sheer weight of them does.
That feeling of carrying everything yourself, isolated in your own head, it just starts to visibly lift.
And this raises such an important question, doesn't it? Why is that weight so significant? And why does it seem to dissipate so quickly with connection?
Yeah, what's the mechanism there?
Well, it's because knowing deep down you're not the only one fighting this confusion is just incredibly liberating. Our research actually delves into the cognitive load this isolation puts on entrepreneurs. When you're alone, every single problem feels magnified.
Totally.
Every decision feels like it's solely on your shoulders. And that just leads to mental fatigue, stress.
Yeah, decision fatigue is real.
Absolutely. And the sources suggest that sometimes the most powerful sentence in business isn't, we hit our target or our profit margins are up. It's simply, same here, I've been there too.
Wow.
That moment of shared experience, of mutual understanding. It allows you to just breathe,
Yeah.
to relax a bit, and to say, thank goodness it's not just me.
This fundamental human need we have to connect and feel understood, especially when you're navigating the complex, often chaotic world of business, it provides this powerful psychological safety net.
Right.
It validates your struggles, it normalizes your fears, and it actually frees up mental energy to solve the problems rather than just bearing their burden alone.
What really stands out to me through all this is just how much of business success isn't only about strategy or capital. It's profoundly mental and emotional.
Absolutely.
This isn't just about networking for leads or finding practical solutions. So those are definitely benefits, right?
Sure.
But it's about that genuine human connection that provides a much deeper kind of resilience, that fundamental feeling of support that allows you to face pretty much anything.
Couldn't agree more. So if you're listening right now and you've been carrying everything alone, if that feeling of isolation has been whispering in your ear and really weighing you down, this deep dive offers, I think, a clear and actionable challenge. Reach out this week.
Just one step.
Just one step. Whether it's joining an online business group that feels right for you, sending a thoughtful message to someone you admire in business, or maybe just initiating a coffee meetup with a fellow entrepreneur you know. Take that first small step.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be some grand gesture or a massive commitment. Often, the most valuable connections start with just simple, authentic outreach.
That's so true. Your support circle doesn't have to be massive, does it? It doesn't need to be formal or intimidating. It just needs to be authentic, real, comprised of people who genuinely understand and support your journey, success in business. Well, it's undoubtedly sweeter when it's shared, isn't it? When you have people to celebrate those wins with. And the struggle, that undeniable, sometimes grinding struggle, it is undeniably lighter when you carry it together.
Absolutely. Building this circle is one of the most critical yet often overlooked investments you can make. An investment in your long-term resilience, your mental well-being, and ultimately your business growth. It really is about transforming that isolating feeling into shared strength, knowing you have people who genuinely get your world and are there to navigate it with you.
So the message is clear. Don't do it alone. build your circle. What small, manageable step will you take this week to connect with someone who truly gets your world? That simple action, it really could be the beginning of your most valuable business asset, a compounding investment in your future self and your enterprise. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.